What is going on, everyone? I want to take the next step with what I'm doing with YouTube. I want to create a podcast. Now, I'm going to continue to do the post-game recaps right after games, record what I thought about the games, but the podcast can add more depth, and my passion is sports radio, so what this does is it allows me to have more of that sports radio feel. I don't have all the details nailed down yet. I have great ideas in my head. It's just all about execution. But one thing I wanted to implement was my fans, you guys, the subscribers. I created a voicemail box that is available at all times. The phone number is in the description, and it is 856-442-9805. It will always be open. It will always be available, and you can call in whenever you want. You can rant about something that is going on live. If you're watching the Eagles, you can call in once Nick Foles does something right there at that very moment. If you have a topic idea, if you just want to talk about anything in general or about sports, the voicemail box will always be open. I will say I did some trials with it. It sounds so much clearer if you actually talk on the phone and not so much on speaker. So if you can, please try and do that. I'm just curious to see how this goes. And before I do my first podcast episode, I want to give you guys the opportunity to be able to call into this voicemail box and see how it plays out. It's a test run. I would love to try and implement this. You see it all the time with sports radio shows, whether it's the riled up line, the sound off, and it's a cool way to have you guys in the podcast itself. I have a ton of ideas with this. I love the concept. I really do. I want to be able to create podcasts consistently just as much as I do with my other YouTube stuff. I am extremely dedicated on working on this craft and getting to the future with my sports radio dream. And this is just the beginning, and I'm enjoying the journey, that's for sure. But that's what I have for you. So please, I would love to hear your opinions. You're riled up during games, anything. Call the number, 856-442-9805. I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say. I really want this to work out. I think it has a great potential. It really does. So I'm going to give it about a week. I'm going to open up the mailbox. Like I said, it's going to be open all the time, but until I record my first podcast, I want to give it a couple days here to see what kind of builds up in the voicemail. I would say let's try and keep the cursing to a minimum, but I understand it if it is a very frustrating moment in a game or if your topic is very passionate. I get it. So thank you guys so much for listening. Let me know if you're interested in the podcast. Is that something you would like to do? I'm thinking, realistically, with how much I love to do this, about an hour. I will bring on guests like Dan, that we do the Dan and Bro Show, and other guests throughout my podcast, and I kind of want to do it a couple times a week. That might be a little aggressive. I want to see how that flows, but I want to do it more than just once a week if I am going to do it. Sports radio is my true passion, and I love what I do on YouTube. The 6 to 10 minute breakdowns on post games, that adds to, breaking down sports. But the flow of a podcast, the flow of sports radio, that is a different touch. And I want to practice it. I want to attack it and just practice the craft. Let me know your thoughts. Do not forget to call in. I want call-ins consistently because I know you can do it. And I know you have as much passion as me. Thanks so much.